Broadcasting from Hargeysa, Somaliland, this is CPA. My name is Abdillahi Hassan and you are watching the news in brief. Somaliland's government has denied a diplomatic row with neighboring Djibouti of a submarine internet cable. This comes a day after Somaliland's coast guards have reportedly chased away a vessel laying the fiber optic internet cable from Somaliland's territorial waters. Mohammed Kahin, the Minister of Interior, today said Somaliland and Djibouti have no disagreements regarding the submarine communications cable. The minister reiterated that the cable is laid outside Somaliland's territorial waters and will not land in Berbera. The minister's statement also comes a day after Djibouti's Minister of Interior, Mumin Ahmed Sheikh, visited Somaliland's capital Hargeisa. The Djiboutian delegation was created by the Minister of Interior, flanked by the Defense Minister, the President's nephew, and lawmakers from both houses of Parliament. Somaliland's Interior Minister Mohammed Kahin said the delegation has not come to Somaliland for political affairs, but to condole the family of the late Ahmed Abdi Kahin, who is mourning his death. Somaliland's opposition party Wadani said the government is trying to intimidate the press by accusing them of working for the government of Somalia. The deputy chairman of the party said the government would have prosecuted the alleged fifth-column journalists if the accusations were true. This came a day after Somaliland's Minister of the Interior, Mohammed Kahin Ahmed, said 30 journalists in Somaliland received funding from the government of Somalia in Mogadishu. The Minister of the Information was more forthcoming in his disclosure, saying the funds come directly from the office of the Deputy Prime Minister Khadar Mahdi Guled. The Deputy Chairman of Watani Party, Saleban Duale Haji Chamah, said those allegations undermine Somaliland's sovereignty and the reputation of the press in the country. He said the government should have dealt with the issue through the judicial system before making such accusations public. Saleban Duale, however, leaned on the side that the minister made up those allegations just to intimidate journalists. The opposition official finally demanded the government to prove its allegations against the press. Otherwise, he called on the minister to resign. Somaliland's government has issued a warning against new coronavirus outbreak that has so far killed 56 people in China. In a press conference on Sunday morning, the ministry said new coronavirus cases have not been reported in Somaliland, but warned of its possibility. Somaliland has a strong trading relationship with China, and many Somaliland business people regularly travel to there. The ministry's public relations said medical staff and equipment have been deployed at all major entrances of the country. However, the ministry contended that the best way to prevent an outbreak is through public awareness. In this regard, the ministry urged all the public to take these precautionary measures to curb the spread of the virus. The first measure call is to immediately check into the hospital the people from China who develop a high fever. The second and third steps are regularly to wash hands and cough and sneeze with handkerchief. New coronavirus was first spotted in China, where it killed 56 people so far and infected over 1,900 people. The Chinese government introduced travel restrictions to prevent a pandemic which affected almost 60 million people in 20 cities. Health authorities around the world are also taking actions to prevent a pandemic as more countries report cases. Confirmed cases have so far been announced in Europe, North America, and several Asian countries. Somali forces and their partners will step up operations against Al-Shabaab to liberate more areas in South and Central Somalia, officially said. In a statement, the spokesperson of the Somali Ministry of Information, Ismail Mukhtar Umar, said the government forces are committed to annihilate Al-Shabaab and the fighters from Somalia. The official vowed the government will intensify military operations against Al-Shabaab, which once controlled large swaths of territories before the Somali military and its allies allies defeated the group. Umar said the operations, which are being carried out in collaboration with troops from the African Peacekeeping Mission and the US, highlight the increasing capability of the government security forces to secure the nation. He said Somalia and US forces have conducted a series of military operations in the past 2 days targeting non-terrorists in the Al-Shabaab controlled towns of Cholia and Kunyo Borro. Ismail noted in a statement issued in Mogadishu the inability of Al-Shabaab to prevent federal government of Somalia operations in Chilib shows the fragile state that the terrorist organization is in. Ismail added there are no reports of civilian casualties and injuries as a result of these operations, which he said have weakened the Al-Qaeda allied terrorist group. Al-Shabaab, which once controlled large part of South and Central Somalia, now controls villages and small towns in southern Somalia thanks to successive operations against the group, which carried out deadly bombings in major towns including the capital. Al-Shabaab has executed 3 men whom they accused of working with Somalia and Kenya governments. A court belonging to the group in the town of Kamsuma of Lower Juba region convicted the men on Saturday. The men were executed by firing a squad in public after they were reportedly found guilty by the group's court of spying in what was described as hurriedly constituted hearing held in front of residents. Al-Shabaab often compels locals to gather and witness the executions to discourage anyone who may think of betraying their cause. The victims were identified as Musa Hussein Siyad, who is 31 years old, a member of US trained soldiers, and was arrested from an area in between Afgoya and Beledweyn towns. Hussein Muhammad Arsal, a 20 years old, who was said to be a member of Jubaland state and was nabbed from Bersanguni locality. Farchir Ali, a 75-year-old man, was also killed, and he was accused of spying for Kenya's government. Thank you for joining us. That was our news in brief. Stay tuned for our full and more detailed news coverage coming to you later tonight.